Hi, I'm Jeff Goodman and welcome to scubaverse.com. Today I'm looking at the Insta360x4 action camera. Basically, this little camera has two lenses, one in the front and one at the back. And I call this the back lens because it's on the same side as the monitor. What they do is, between them, they film 360 degrees. But they film 360 degrees in every direction. The software, where the join is between the two lenses, will then stitch the two images together and you won't be able to see the join. Each lens has its own sensor, and you can then process that either in the software on your smartphone or on your computer. You would think there was an issue then with the camera seeing your hand. Well, what Insta have done is they've given you an invisible stick. So if I screw that in here, the software now will see that stick, but it will eliminate it. It will hide it visually, so you won't be able to see it, and it stitches the images from the two lenses together without that. Fantastic. And it extends so you can film from quite a way away from you and get a huge range of pictures or video. Bring that back in. What's fantastic with the long stick, you can put it behind you, to the side, above, below, you can put it anywhere, but you're still going to be filming everything. So for example, if I'm filming myself here, I'm also filming what I'm looking at. And then in the software, I can picture myself, and then I can pan around in the edit and see what I'm looking at. It's like having an extra camera person with you. I'll just unscrew that for now. The lenses are not delicate, but they do need taking care of. Any scratches or dust on them will be seen on such a wide angle, especially as if you move the camera at all. So what Insta have given us are two little protective lens covers. These fit over the lens with a little bayonet fitting, one for either side. I'll just pop that one off. It is said, or people do say, you can film through these covers. Others say it's best to take them off. Personally, I take them off when I'm actually filming because I always think the less glass or the less plastic in front of a lens, the better. There's also a nice soft carry case as well, so this will help protect your lens while in transit. And additionally, you have this beautiful soft rubber lens cover which simply sits like so, and that'll give 100% protection. Shoots in 8K, which is an amazing amount of information. So when you have your 360 degree picture and you zoom in, you can zoom in quite a long way and still get fantastic quality. Unfortunately for me, at the moment, I can only play or edit 4K. So that's what I'm using. And here on the menu, you will see, oh, hang on, let's get the menu down. There we are. So touchscreen, all the menus are here. Here you can access all of your settings. Down here, I've got 4K at 30 frames. If I press that, I've then got my choices of 8K, 5.7, 4K. And I've set this at 30 frames because I'm filming underwater and there won't be much light. Press that, there we are, back to normal. I like having the monitor there too. That's really handy. Even though I'm filming 360, it's nice to have some idea of what you're filming. Two buttons on this side. One is power, the other is menu. On and off button here, another menu button here. And then on the other side, we have two ports. One small one, which is a CUSB fitting, and that will then plug in to your computer to allow you to download the images and or charge the battery. And the battery is in this other compartment. Flick the two switches. That will last up to 15 hours on the lower settings. Inside here also we have then our memory card. You'll see there is a blue O-ring around the compartment here. Make sure that's clean and free from any dust for when you take it underwater. And the camera on its own is good down to 10 meters, which is amazing, fantastic. It's great for surfing, snorkeling, anything with the water sport. You know, it's going to be waterproof. Pop that in. When you close it, there is a little orange telltale flashes underneath that show, make sure when you press, they disappear and you hear the audible click. That's now fully closed. And the same with the little one there. If you want to go deeper than 10 meters, there is the underwater housing, and this is good down to 50 meters. It's simplicity itself, really. It's molded plastic, 4 clips, lid opens up, and there is an O-ring on the lid, and that sits into a recess here on the bottom part of it. Once again, do make sure there's no grit or dust or sand, anything on this ring, otherwise it will leak. Not that it super matters because this is good down to 10 meters, but if you are deeper than that, you really don't want any water in it. There are 2 moisture absorbing pads, and it's very important that they go in here. The camera does generate a little bit of heat, so what with that and then taking the housing down into cold water, it's possible you'll get condensation. So these moisture absorbing pads will cure that. Camera fits in very snugly. Close the lid and nice audible click again to close the lid. Once again, you have the thought of seeing your hand, but no worries, the invisible stick does its job underwater as well as on land. Now, it is very important to make sure the camera and the stick are absolutely in line. If they're at an angle at all, then the software can't cope and you will see the stick. So make sure that's vertical and locked in place. I did a couple of dives with it. The first one I did was in quite good conditions for England anyway. I wasn't down very deep, maybe 20 feet, 25 feet. Little bit of late afternoon sunlight. Visibility not too bad. I found the colours were good. I set it on auto white balance. I was at 4K at 30 frames, and being able to use the stick to hold the camera in front of me, to be able to pan around or to the side of me to see a full view of me swimming with my buddy. It was just fantastic to be able to do that and not have an extra person there with you. If you're not too worried about the shot below you, there is this floating handle here, and this will fit onto the bottom of the housing, and in an emergency, should you let go or drop it, then it will float. Otherwise, the camera is slightly negative, so it will sink. So always make sure, even with the invisible stick here, to have the wrist strap on. Save a lot of tears. Right, 2 buttons here on the side. When you put the camera in, or before you put the camera in, there's an option here which you must do, and that is to turn the camera into housing mode. Should you forget, Insta allow you to do it underwater afterwards. So simply by pressing the button and holding it, it now turns on the housing mode. Fantastic. You can then turn it off again by pressing and holding, and it'll turn itself off. Love it. It's such simplicity, but it does so much. Let's open it up, take the camera back out. There we go. Let's pop that one back in here. I took the camera for a second dive, and this time I really did test its abilities. I was down at about 60 feet, hardly any light at all. Visibility was terrible, lots of particles in the water. And I was shooting, as I explained before, at 4K 30 frames. So it's minimum setting, really. It still produced very good pictures, and I was delighted with it. Had it on the invisible stick, and as well as being able to film me swimming along from different angles and different points of view, I was able to put the stick around to this cuttlefish that I saw and get a picture of both the cuttlefish and me in frame. Well, I could have done that with any action camera really, but the nice thing was then, as the cuttlefish moved in the edit, I could then pan with it and follow it without moving the camera. That was fantastic. That was great to be able to do that. As well as all the features that this camera has, a really nice one, especially when you're underwater, is being able to run it and stop it with hand gestures. So if it's in the housing and it's up here, rather than having to reach for it or turn it on and off, I can simply turn it on with a hand gesture and then turn it off again. You can do this on land, of course, as well, but on land you can also do it with a voice control. So, the Insta360x4 action camera.